Despite it being an election year here in Guyana, bilateral relations between Guyana and the Dominican Republic have been progressing smoothly, with advancement of several key initiatives. This is according to Dominican Republic Resident Ambassador to Guyana, Ernesto Torres Pereyra. Speaking during the latest edition of Ignite Finance, the resident ambassador, who has been here for almost 2 years, praised the evolution of bilateral relations, noting that several key agreements have been signed and are advancing in the areas of agriculture, tourism, and investment promotion.
The agenda has been growing exponentially. All the work started with the signature of several MOUs between our governments. When I came in May of 2023 was precisely in the prelude of the visit of the Dominican President, Luis Abinader, his first official visit to Guyana, and several agreements were signed. President Ali reciprocated the visit in August of 2023, and more agreements were signed. So this has been the framework of the work that we have been carrying out. So we have agreements in agriculture, tourism, hydrocarbons, promotion of investment. So the scope is very broad, and we have acted dynamically in all areas. We understand that this is a very special year because of the electoral process, but in spite of that, the dynamics of cooperation continue to be very intense. So we've been very satisfied with the work so far. We are currently in the moment of developing one of those important projects to eventually proceed with the implementation. An MOU was signed between the Guyana Private Sector Commission and a consortium of businesses in the Dominican Republic in the field of production of fertilizers. This is a very important agreement. Guyana has so much potential to develop the agricultural sector, and having here the possibility to produce urea and fertilizers will enhance those capacities. So the project has the intention of building a production plant here, using, of course, one of the key elements, which is the natural gas, which you will have in abundance. So recently we have been continuing the discussions to see how can eventually we put this project into operation. So for me, this is one of the most important projects because it will have a regional impact.
Ambassador Pereyra is in studio today to elaborate on these points with Ignite News reporter Utamu Bell.
Thank you, Rihanna. Ambassador, we're going to delve just a little bit deeper on something that you mentioned earlier. Well, given that this is currently an election year for Guyana, how has the process been in terms of your bilateral relations and all of the agreements that you've signed?
It is an interesting question, and I have to be very cautious answering it. I guess we all know that during elections, some of the processes slow down a little bit. However, our relationship is not exclusive government to government. We have private sectors on both sides that have engaged very actively in trade and also in the development of joint ventures. So that continues to move progressively. In the case of government-to-government implementation of some of the agreements, we continue to push. The fact that Guyana doesn't have an embassy yet in the Dominican Republic, puts us in a position that we have to be very proactive. So we do all we can to, in spite of how complex your political ecosystem is. I mean, I'm surprised. This country, in terms of population, is so small, yet the politics are so intricate. But we've managed to continue pushing all the projects. I think once the elections are, the results are defined and the exercise is completed, I believe we will have, an even stronger push to continue building up our relationship. I'm confident that once the whole process is completed, we can really move forward with many of the instruments that were signed and many of the initiatives that could have been in certain ways could have slowed down because of the elections. But knowing how delicate the balance is here, we understand that that the campaign has to be intense, has to be very intense. But as I told you, the private sector continues to move, but in terms of government to government, some things, will slow down. It's natural. It would happen in my country also. So I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yes, you have. But I had just one more for you.
Okay.
What is the status on the most important project that you mentioned, the initiative, the fertilizer initiative?
Well, we recently had conversations with the people responsible, and we are waiting to receive some technical information with regards to the type of natural gas that will be used for the production. And also, we need to make sure that the Dominican Republic, together with our consortium of companies, is taking into consideration seriously to carry out this initiative, because we have the experience. One of our companies is already established here. It's called FERSAN, it's Fertilizantes Químicos Dominicanos. Fertilizantes Santo Domingo. They have been here already operating, and they have built a name because they're really reputed. Their products are of excellent quality, and this is one of those companies that has a track record, an impeccable track record. And I have to also share this with you. All the companies that the embassy has brought to Guyana are companies of long tradition, of impeccable records, and we normally, not to say 100%, but 95% of the times, we bring the CEOs. So if there's an exchange, decisions can be taken immediately, because this is why for us it's important to deal at the highest level. So we're confident that that our consortium can really implement this project successfully and bring prosperity to the entire region.
All right. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you so very much once again.
Back to you, Rihanna.
Thank you, Tamu. Guyanese will be happy to hear that progress in these key areas continues.